Good evening, good evening, good evening. And from whatever time of day you are currently listening to this or watching this is your host, Raymond Carr, and this is RC Speaks. Now, today's episode is another Mind the Game, aka what I call Game the Mind podcast entry featuring Kevin Durant alongside with LeBron James and his esteemed colleague, Steve Nash. And they go through and they talk about the game and they talk about a few things. But we do have a situation where statements were made in regards to basically the GOAT conversation. Kevin Durant speaks on how he would rather he wanted to be how to be dedicated to the game basically. So it's very interesting because for a lot of these parts where they do talk basketball, and Kevin Durant is the guest, so I understand LeBron doing a lot of listening, but a lot of things that Durant was saying was it made a lot of sense. But LeBron didn't have really much to say about it. Steve Nash actually chimed in a little more. I didn't necessarily do those parts of this because a lot of people may not understand that, but for me, I did to a degree. Every plays are just called different things. In basketball, you can only have so many plays. You don't have a thick playbook like football. It's a playbook, but it's not a real thick playbook like football. You're basically going to run the same stuff. You're just going to give it a certain flare out, a certain hook, or a certain curve, or a pick here. But it's just different. It's all the same. It's just how you manipulate plays when it comes to basketball. You don't have as many players on the court as you do on the football field, so it's not as strategic because you got lines, defensive and offensive lines in football as well. So this isn't going to be long. It's been gaining a lot of traction on the internet these last few days, and I can tell you this: it's interesting that Durant and LeBron would do any basketball talk because basically they're quitters. To me, they just quit on their team when they don't win. They just quit. LeBron quit on Cleveland the first time, goes to Miami, teams up, wins 2 titles in 4 years. Durant does the same by leaving Oklahoma City and going to Golden State. So with that being said, to me, Durant made the worst move because they actually had a 3-1 lead on Golden State their prior playoffs before he joined Golden State, and they blew a 3-1 lead to him, and they beat him and he joined them. I didn't really get that. So these two are the poster children for joining stacked teams and wanting out when their things don't go their way. When things went bad in Brooklyn, Durant wanted out. They sent him to Phoenix. Now that things haven't gone well in Phoenix, he wants out again. Now he gets traded to Houston for this upcoming season. This will be year number 23 for LeBron, year number 19 for Kevin Durant. And for some reason, they think we want to keep seeing these guys, and that's one of the problems. Before I even get into this video, one of the problems in the NBA is because the rules are so lax that it's not a lot of. When I say physicality, I don't mean just handshaking. I don't mean hacking you with a go to basket. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like legal picks or boxing out. Fighting for rebounds. Banging in the paint. That type of physicality. The way you play tough nose basketball in the paint. But you don't have that anymore. So now these guys can just flow up and down as long as their knees and stuff hold up. I mean, these older guys can play till they all of them 40. You still got a lot of older guys in the league taking up spot. Durant, LeBron, Steph Curry still taking up a spot. James Harden, uh, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George. A lot of guys that are still playing. Now, not all of them are playing at an all-star level at their previous peak levels, but they're still taking up a roster spot as a starter. So now when young guys come in, there's nowhere for them to develop because the slot that these veterans now are taking, it doesn't leave him any choice. Westbrook is still playing, but now he's just bouncing around just like Chris Paul did. A lot of these guys end up staying and they bounce around. And it just looks crazy after a while. Like, man, just retire, man. It's okay. You can't play forever. But LeBron wants the spotlight. So it's going to be very hard for him to retire because he just wants the spotlight. That's all he does. I just want you to know. He ain't going to say it, but he really wants the spotlight. Once he retires, there's no spotlight. This is why it's the off season now. And as I'm making this video, they talking about he want to be traded from LA and all that. If I'm any of the other 29 NBA teams, I don't care how destitute you are. Do not trade for this dude, man. They already just gave him Luka. How many more stars he need? Yeah, Anthony Davis before that, this dude stays having stars. Now they done added another former #1 pick to the stable, DeAndre Ayton. So I don't understand. I don't get this. How y'all think this guy's the GOAT? Some people have Kevin Durant in their top 10 and 20. I just don't see Durant. Durant is a phenomenal scorer, one of the best to ever do it. He can score at any level. He can score in the post. He can get to the paint. He can finish at the rim. He can do the mid range. He has the handle. He has the three. He shot 55%. He shot 50, 40, 90. But I think him and Larry Bird, Steve Nash, and one other person, I don't remember right off the top of my head, 50, 40, 90. 50% from the field, 40% from three, 90% from the free throw line. Kevin Durant's 50 is the only one where it was 55%. So it's not a lot of people that's done it. So that just shows you the skill. LeBron, that last episode, he said, I've tried. Man, you ain't never shot 80% from the free throw line. You also have never averaged 10 rebounds a game in a season. And as a pass first guy, I still don't understand if you're a pass first guy, how you first in points but not first in assists. It should be the other way around, right? You should be ranked a certain way in points and a certain way in assists. But I digress. I'm going to get to it. I started ahead a little early. I'm going to start ahead a little early because I just wanted to go ahead and let y'all flow into it and see what you think. Let's go.
And maybe others, like who were like maybe Wanda, who was your like key believers? I think everyone needs someone that's like,
Yeah.
you can do this. You're great.
Yeah, it's my mom's for sure. I mean, obviously, it's always gonna be your mom's. Yeah, but it's like I tune her out at a certain point.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was for sure. You know, when I look back on it, I for sure appreciated my mom telling me that I was gonna be great. But I always knew that. Of course, she's gonna say that. She was calling me handsome when I was going to school, and they was like, "Oh, nah." You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I understand.
I can relate to that one.
I get that, you know. So I was looking for some validation from my coaches, my teammates, to just be like, "Yo, you nice." Or somebody be like, "Yo, we want to pick KD on my team," you know, outside. Yeah. So my friends started to knock on my door. Can KD come play today? Yeah. Like that's how I started to feel confident in myself. And then my coaches was continuing to work with me every day. So they didn't. It's easy. I seen them say, "Nah, this kid trash. Don't bring him back tomorrow." But they kept inviting me back. Right. So my confidence.
You knew something was there.
Yeah, I just knew something was up. Something was, you know what I mean?
Older kids, like validating you.
Exactly. Yeah. So everybody around me kind of understood what this was before me, you know? So I started to become more enlightened and open my eyes to what this is as 10, 11, 12, 13. And I just hit the ground running.
You walk in the gym, kids happy to see you.
Yeah, like,
happy to see you. Okay, back.
Let's play right now. Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? So I love that camaraderie, man. I was just grateful to have a rec center in my neighborhood that, you know, provided a space for the kids, you know what I'm saying? And I was grateful, you know, because most of my friends come from hooping. You know, most of the people I met come from hooping. I traveled this world because of that, you know what I'm saying? So everything just stemmed back to I just enjoy being in that gym. That community was perfect for me.
We've spent a lot of time together. Pre-Golden State, Brooklyn. Like you have an obsessive work ethic around your routine and like staying sharp and trying to get better. The seeds of that was built then. Like, that wasn't something that like you know.
You should have saw him this past summer, last summer, when he couldn't work out yet because his calf wasn't right. Oh, he was sitting on the sidelines,
shooting in a chair,
literally wanted to cry.
Now, when he says over the last summer, Kevin Durant has torn his Achilles, but at first they told him it was a calf strain, and that's why in the 2019 finals, for those of you who don't know, he ended up tearing his Achilles in the finals. So ever since then, he's had calf issues. But he's made that's really Durant really misses games hurt. He doesn't uh, load manage like LeBron or avoid certain matchups like LeBron and make up injuries. Now Durant normally he misses games because he's injured. I'll give him that because his Achilles, although repaired, if he has a calf issue, he's very cautious with it now because another tear of that and his career is done. Yeah, that age and that mileage. If he tears it again, he's done. So
he was so upset. Like he couldn't the first couple of weeks he couldn't do nothing besides like get up and just like as soon as we got in the gym, we had picture day. He didn't even get dressed, didn't put his uniform on, went straight out there, just started like just pissed and like for sure it's in him.
Yeah, man. It's I don't know. It's that kid like trait. I mean, we all had obsessive shit as a kid. You play with the same toy for a month sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You did the same stuff. I just think I keep that kid like energy in me, and I'm up, and that's what comes from, enjoying what you do, wanting to be great at what you do. Us three, we understand what that's like being in the league for so long, being at that level. Having that standard that you hold yourself to, you gotta be obsessed. I'm sorry. I mean, I know it's.
Here's an interesting take that all three of y'all stayed in the league too long. Actually, Durant and LeBron are just they're well aware that they're one of only a handful of NBA players of all time that have never averaged less than 20 points in a season. These two guys know that. But all three of them, Nash played 19 years. He wasn't effective after 15, which was 2011, 2012, somewhere in there. Once he went to the Lakers, that was it.
It's something that it's traits that you gotta acquire as a human being in order for you to maintain what you got.
Right.
And obsession is one of them. And we look at that, we frown upon that as human beings about stuff. But if you really truly want to be great at basketball, I'm telling you now, somebody who's done it. I don't want to speak for y'all, but I kind of can understand y'all. But you have to be obsessed with wanting to get better every day. And it's like if you don't think that way, if you don't act that way, then just that simple, you're not going to be great at it. And so I understood that early. And like I said, and also.
And to KD's point, and that's KD's mindset. And KD, since he's been in the league, has gotten better. He has basically perfected his whole game. Now, his buddy on his right hasn't done the same thing. Only thing he does is shoot more threes, and he hits more threes. But he doesn't hit them at a great clip career-wise. He's at 34%. So that's nowhere near close to 40%. But KD is actually a person that takes pride in his craft, works at his overall game. Might not be that great on D, but he can be serviceable on D a lot of the time. But yeah, his man shouldn't be. He should just be listening because he hasn't done that. LeBron has no post game, no mid range go to. He has the same little fadeaway, little baby fadeaway that he fades to his left. So he hasn't really worked on anything. He's always depended more on his supreme athleticism than anything.
Just love doing it and having fun doing it, and that's the reason why I am where I am today.
It's interesting, right? Like we all share that obsessiveness about it, but like for kids out there, I think it's important for them. It's not just doing it every day. Like we sat down, Bron pours the wine. You're like, yeah, I got my work in. Like it's on your, you're anxious. It's on your mind. Like you'd be anxious if you hadn't gone to the gym yet. You'd be like, like so. 1, 2, like all of us when we get down to business, when we're in our routine, we're doing our work. There's a standard. Like we're not just there if coach said make 200 shots. No. It's 200 game speed, pressure on the line, day after day after day. Just kids, I think they have to understand. Like it's not just the volume.
Now, Steve, you and Durant probably know. Y'all know a lot about full speed workouts and how y'all train and how you work out and how you practice. Y'all work out full speed. And I don't see if there ever is any footage of y'all going full speed. LeBron's videos, to me, all I see is him just moving, shooting. He's just shooting. Then you see them on some balance ball, or, the balance ball in the weight room where you just stand on it and try to drill all this silliness, man. He doesn't know what y'all talking about. But let's see if he chimes in anyway.
It's not just the consistency;
Exactly.
it's the approach.
Exactly.
And also they'll learn that as well over time. It's not going to happen day one
I agree.
to the kids out
I
there.
agree.
They'll learn how to train the right way. They'll learn how they can get the most out.
Only time these guys will learn is if they get into the league and somebody gives them some good advice, but they're not going to learn it before they actually have to pay for it. Kids are not going to be taught that. They know, y'all know this. Everybody out there knows this about basketball. Now, when you see these kids that they call highly touted, I don't see any skill set. I just see dunk and crossover. I just see highlights. I don't see game. I don't see how they play. I just see all the same exact highlights. I've been seeing this for the last, 10 years, easily. If not longer, maybe 15. But definitely the last 10 years it has changed. So now these kids you're going to have a handful that are good, already talented, and they have to figure out how to get better and get stronger and keep going. But a lot of these guys ain't going to make it.
Their training, how to get the most out of their workouts. And then, like Kay said, he started to feel his body change. He started to feel, I know, that I can do this a little bit more now. I can get to this spot a little bit more now because I'm a little stronger now. I'm a little faster now. Even at 10, 11, 12 years old, and I look at it, obviously I've had my two boys that play basketball, whatever. And, my daughter's playing volleyball right now. She's 10 and she's playing 12U volleyball. So you could just see the difference just in like 2 years. It could be 18 months. You see the difference, shorter,
6
not as
months,
strong,
9 months.
not as fast, can't jump as high, So like as those things continue to mold and get better and you start seeing your body transition and the only thing that matters the most early on is that you want to do it and you got to love to do it. You got to love it.
Right.
Because that's going to keep you coming back.
Right.
The body's going to do what it's going to do. You're going to go to sleep one day and then you're going to wake up and your knee going to be hurting. You're like, what the hell?
Man,
You're like, what the hell is going on?
Man.
You're going to wake up one day and you're going to wait and you're going to say something to your mom and your voice going to be a little bit deeper. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So like it happens like that.
But you're right, though. It's the love. Like you can't live without it right now, right? Like I've had to move on. It's hard, right? It's hard. You're not too far away. You're not too far away. Like you guys now have a immediacy with that. Like you know that you got to make the most out of this. You've been there and done it. Like that all starts with love.
Yeah, right? For sure.
And it's gonna stay there with love,
Kevin Durant and Steve Nash love the game. LeBron loves the attention. There's a difference. There's been no remarkable improvement in his game over the course of his career. It has not happened. It's not happened. Over the course of his career, he's gradually gotten worse, but yet puts up the same stats because the rules are so soft in the league. There's no big man in there. LeBron generally, on most nights in the NBA, if he they play 41 home games. Out of 41 home games, at least half of those, he's the biggest dude on the floor. For both teams. Got it? But Steve Nash, I can tell this. I can see why you're on this podcast. You trying to sound like well, I've already heard it, but sound like he's gonna. Can't remember this part, but sound like he's gonna sound kind of, to me, kind of a little desperate because with a lot of these guys when they retire, they don't have nothing to do, man. So that's why I guess Steve Nash was like, I couldn't wait to take this opportunity because I don't have nothing. Y'all do.
We can easily get jaded by the business of basketball and the responsibility that comes with being a breadwinner in some of our families. It's a lot that comes with being an NBA player that we don't discuss a lot. It's like that unsaid thing. But we deal with a lot as human beings and as basketball players, but when you get on that basketball court, that is like your
sanctuary, man.
Yeah, you can't let that.
Right.
As much money as y'all get paid, and I tell people all this, people say money don't mean you should be this, you should be treated a certain way and treated bad. It's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying a lot of the stuff these guys talking about they deal with, you signed up for it. You pay me this much money these guys making, I'm famous and I'm playing ball. I'm content with that. But see, now everything is mental health. Everything now is like there's so much other, people say this, people say that. And people been saying stuff about athletes since they started sports, sirs. People been doing that. Only thing now just wasn't the internet. You see your stuff in the paper. Everybody could see you anyway in the newspaper. The newspaper was the internet. If you got a newspaper at your house, or you walk by a newsstand, you were gonna see whatever's on the front page. It was gonna be an athlete. Trust me. More times than not, it was gonna be an athlete back in those days, because that's how it was. Y'all can't deal with the internet. At least you can turn the internet off. Back then, all you had to do was not buy a paper, but you were gonna see a paper. Don't mean you had to read it. Don't mean you had to buy it. You were gonna see that front page.
Get
Right.
affected
Mhm.
by all of the
Mhm.
that comes with life. You know what I'm saying? So once you keep that sacred, and it takes some time,
Yeah.
for people to understand how sacred that is.
Mhm.
Like, I'm not coming here to interview with y'all if I ain't work out today.
Right,
Like,
right,
I'm not
right.
gonna change my workout.
Right.
I love you, Bron. I love
Yeah.
you, but I'm not
They definitely
changing.
told me K can only do after 2:30. I'm
Yeah.
like, shit, I work out at 7 a.m. I gotta wait till 2:30 to see this
And
motherfucker.
it was
I'm
just like I just can't compromise that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At this point,
100%.
you know what I mean? And I think that's what we all get to once we love something.
do you think another driving factor in our careers right now is others who had the talent and others who had the same opportunity didn't make the most of it in their later careers?
Yeah,
Like people that we grew up watching, people that, that you felt like, damn, I wonder if they worked hard. I wonder if they really put the time into it
1,000%.
to now, like you look back, sometimes I go back and look at certain players back in the day. I'm like, damn, he only played 11 years.
Yeah, no,
Or he only played 8 years. Like and when you're young, you don't really know, but it's like,
Now, here's the thing: if you're a historian of the game and you say, "Dang, this guy only played 8 years," and this guy, it depends on who you're talking about. Larry Bird only played 13 years. Magic only 12 and some change when he tried that comeback in '95. The Magic only played 12 years. Bird only. We know why Magic played 12. We know why Bird played 13. But any other guys, a lot of guys back then that only played 8 or 9 seasons because they got hurt. Or they were wore down. The physical play wore them down. Didn't mean they didn't work as hard. They just don't have the access to things that y'all have now as far as working out and conditioning and all that nutrition. They didn't have that. So it's not that they didn't maximize their potential. It's just their bodies weren't. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't anything. It wasn't like it is now. And see, for somebody that claims to be a basketball historian like LeBron, why would you even be surprised at that? You should know why people only played this. Isaiah Thomas only played 13 years. 13 years for you was 9 years ago. 13 years for LeBron was 2016. It's 2025. So no, they didn't have the same. But those guys back then, all they did was run. You did some push-ups, you ran. You did some bleachers, you ran. You just ran. They would get in a little weight work, but back then, it wasn't heavy. It's about keeping your conditioning. Now these guys, y'all got all this, and y'all ain't got no conditioning because you don't run. Y'all don't practice every day. These dudes used to practice and then play after practice. I played all the time when I was younger. All the way up until I was 30, I played every day. So, and that's when life just changed. But man, these guys, they just supposed to be a student, supposed to be a historian of the game.
Nah, you're right. I mean, you definitely look at. I mean, because if you're not looking at the guys that come before you as examples, then
and good or bad, correct?
Yeah, good or bad, then you're not going. It's hard for you to be ready for what's ahead. Like, I've seen guys that, you drove me every day. Go and watch your games, watch your box scores. I'm like, all right, if he on that level, why can't I try to be at that same?
Now, I guess what Durant is saying, as far as LeBron used to drive him, is early. I guess early on in his career it had to be because it had to have been earlier in Durant's career. Because if he was looking at the stats and the box scores, he's looking at the wrong thing. I get it. So it had to been when he was young in his career. It could not have been after he was veteran. This had to have been early.
Level two. So that drive, but then you look at guys who didn't necessarily pan out and you know their situation and you want to avoid that too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, all of that stuff plays a factor, but it's not just one or two or three things that make you a good basketball player. Things you have to do to be a great basketball player. It's so much you got to retain and understand in order for you to get the full potential out of yourself. You know what I'm saying? And the research is a big part, in my opinion, of becoming a great basketball player. Who you listening to talk the game, what you watching, how you watching it, how you watching film. You know what I'm saying? Are you researching old players and see what they did to understand the foundation they laid down for you?
Are you being real with yourself?
Are you being real with yourself when you watch film? Are you holding yourself accountable after games? Right after the game. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of stuff you got to ask yourself. You got to recommit to this game. Just like you sign a new contract, every time you get better as a player, I truly feel that you got to recommit and sign that contract with yourself every so often. Like, all right, yeah, I'm 10, 12 years in, I got 4 MVPs and 4 championships. Like, but do I still want to do this shit? You know what I'm saying?
Because you know how hard it is.
Some people say, I want to go play baseball.
Right?
Yeah.
The problem with that, and that's the statement that's been making the rounds through YouTube and social media since he said this. Some people want to go play baseball. Now, two of the biggest quitters and two of the biggest frauds as leaders on a team. It's going to talk about somebody went to play baseball. In that regard, he's talking about Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, if they don't remember, since Bron, I just said, you're supposed to be a historian of the game. Both of you peasy-headed a-holes. Some in that's why y'all hell like that, because something wrong with y'all brain, man. The man daddy had got murdered, right? And this other stuff, it had something to do with gambling, and maybe Jordan was, instead of suspending him, he just lay low and go play baseball. It's all kind of theories about it. I won't even say conspiracy theories, but theories abound still to this day about that. But the man's father got transitioned. Okay? And if y'all was historians of the game like y'all say y'all are, you would have known that. And the man didn't quit just to quit. You a Mourner, you very close. They don't know nothing about being close with a father because they ain't with theirs. So there's that part too. And I ain't as big as Jordan fan, but come on, bro. Y'all, if I say something critical about LeBron, I'm attacking a black man. But they literally just attacked a black man. And LeBron laughing, of course he gonna laugh at it because now like, yeah, I got him, Kevin. That's what I'm talking about, Kevin. But no, Jordan at least retired on top. He had just won 3 straight titles. Have either one of you ever won 3 straight titles? No. Have you ever won a title without a stacked team? No. So what does baseball got to do? It's gonna get good. Trust me. Watch.
And then I want to come back. Well, some people say I'm gonna go 22 straight. And, you know what I'm saying? So it's a contract. I feel like
Jordan didn't violate any contract. Matter of fact, when he came back, he went to the Bulls. He didn't go to another team. He went back to the Bulls. And some people want to go 22 straight. What's the difference in 22 straight and what Jordan did? Everybody's journey different. And these 22 straight years, the last 7 been trash. A bubble title and one time out the first round, one other time out the first round. But these dudes supposed to be the great ones. And please, let's see what he got.
you got to have with yourself too, in order for you to be a great ball player or to have a long career. That's the goal, to be in the league for 20 years. I tell you.
And again, this is exactly why Kevin Durant teamed up in LeBron super teams. This is exactly why they both teamed up. Because the goal in professional basketball is to win championships. That's the goal. Ain't nobody go in there and say they're trying to play 20 years in the league. Nobody says that. Even cats that have done it, they didn't come in the league. You know what? I want to play 20 years in the league. That's all I really. If I can play 20, I get that good pension. I get that, man. The numbers I can put if I can play 20 years. Even if I'm on the bench, if I can play 20 years, boy, shoot, man. That's what I'm talking about. What about championship, man? Shoot, I'm gonna get 20 years worth of checks. F them championships. 20 years, baby. If I can't get 20, I'm gonna get darn close. The gold, Kevin. That's what I'm saying is the gold, Kevin. It's championships. This is why you only have two. And then outside of Golden State, you have none.
That's the goal. However you want to get there, but you gotta recommit to yourself before you commit to anything else.
That's interesting. But like all that's like that's a factor. Like seeing what other people did, seeing maybe they didn't fulfill their potential, they didn't keep going as long as they could have. But it all starts again with that love, that passion for what you do.
Steve as well. Steve, you don't even have a ring. Ain't never been to a final. So what are you talking about, man? Some people could have went as long and they just didn't. No, it's not that people didn't want to go along. Everybody's body different. You can bust your hump, but man, after year 12, 13, that body's like, hey, man, we ain't got much. No, we got to keep, I got to get to 20. I got to get to 20, man. I got to get to 20. No, it's not how that works. It's about championships. It says a lot of these bums, the 2D boy, the last one LeBron got 5 years ago. Before that, it was 4 years. Durant ain't won here since, what, 18? Come on, man.
Every day.
For sure. Because that ain't going to last. That ain't enough.
Right?
That ain't enough to keep you going, seeing what other people did and didn't do.
It's about you.
Yeah.
You can't just chase other people. You got to run your own race. You got to be deeply inside it.
See, now they saying, one thing you got to be assessed, and then the next thing, you can't try to chase people, and you can't. That should be a motivating factor. It can be. That's what LeBron doing, trying to chase rings to catch Mike. So what is it, fellas? You can't chase other people, or you should chase. Or what's going on? Because that's what LeBron doing right now as we speak. He looking to see what moves they're gonna make with the roster. You got Luke and you, ain't you the GOAT? Well, yeah, you 40 now. You only 40 when it's an excuse time. When he putting up numbers, y'all say he still got it. At 40, he putting up these numbers, yeah, but he ain't making no impact. And at 40, he should be leading the team. But at this point, LeBron should be able to lead the team and be able to come off the bench if necessary, or play a post. If he had a post game, he could play in the post. Be closer to the basket. Nope, he wanted the ball in his hand. He want to barrel down the lane. He want to barrel down the lane and kick it out to shooters.
Engineer that thing, drive your own bus. You know what I mean? I was going to say, how does that, at this stage, you're like, what is success? I asked you first episode, what does success look like for you, like the rest of your career? How do you approach it?
For me, it's just
year coming into 19?
19.
19.
It's just about, for me, it's just about being in it every day. Like, and when I mean in it, it's just like every detail I gotta be like, if my coaches need to ask me about anything, no matter, I gotta be ready for, if I gotta jump in a drill first, you know what I'm saying, to demonstrate the drill, if I gotta be, play a whole scrimmage and practice even on, 35, 36, I don't want to, I gotta set that example of like, no matter how old I am, that I'm still trying to be great every day.
Yeah, there's a standard.
You know what I'm saying? That's really what I'm in it for, is just continue to live up to that every day, whether it's shoot around, practice, or a game. And I think I love living up to that standard.
Similar.
What, no, I tell you why people say word salad. What the hell are you talking about, man? You said, are you trying to say nothing about winning came out of your mouth? If you say, I got to be locked in so we can win, I want to win, man. If I can get these guys, no matter how old I am, whatever I need to do for us to win, that's what you're supposed to say. If you own that type of time, but all you saying is, I just want to, basically what you're saying, I just want to be ready and prepared, and if I got to do an extra drilling practice, or a coach needs me to show him something, or show the guys something, and I'm not going to really rally them, but I'm going to be in it. I'm going to be in it, buddy. No, man. You're supposed to be saying, I want to get to Houston and win. I want to give me another title. I want to win. But that's not what he said. Because that's not what he's about. They're about playing a long time and getting some numbers. So him and LeBron are just about stat pad. Let's get these numbers up.
He was process over, the process, trying to be great every day and like leaving an example for other players.
And if you do that, then win, lose, or draw, shit. I mean, we get frustrated with losses. We've been to the mountaintop before. We want to get back there.
Yeah.
But you sleep better than the contrary if you wasn't doing the other shit.
For sure.
And you lose.
Yeah, for sure.
You're like, oh, I just cheated a season away.
Yeah, exactly.
I just cheated a week away. I just cheated a day away.
You just cheated a career away. Chael Sonnen, call your boy out again. Allegedly. You cheated the whole career, sir. You cheated the whole career since 2010. So your last 15 years have been a cheat sheet. You've been cheating.
Right.
For what? Because at the end of the day,
matter of fact, you and Durant, y'all both been cheating, and that ain't been working. That's why you say we lose anyway. I didn't cheat it. I didn't try to play fair. And still lose. I'm prepared and everything. This is bull. No, y'all cheated, and this is what you get when you try to cut corners. Nothing.
This game where we're playing, the basketball game, the life game, whatever the case may be, the game in general, it's not no dress rehearsal. It is right now. We live. We live, baby.
Yeah.
Unless we got to get to it. We got to make the most of it when you're that person.
Right.
When you have the it factor, it's not a dress rehearsal for it. You don't get. You're not allowed to have a dress rehearsal.
Every day
The others do.
Got to be on every day,
And
that's the beauty of being given that much responsibility. Is that you got to be on every day. It's easy when you get 2 days a week where you got to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? But you challenge yourself. You reach different heights as a human being. I think this game.
And I'm glad you took it like that, Durant. That's kudos to you. It still don't mean you're trying to win. You just talking about performance-wise to keep you up there. But see, your boy don't care nothing about stats. So whether he wins or not, he's gonna come up with an excuse. He's gonna have his stats. But it's not a dress rehearsal. You're right. You've been in the league 22 years, dum-dum. Of course, you should know that. You knew that when you first started. When you first got some attention, you knew what it was. Stop it. Trying to make excuses. Nah, that's what you signed up for a long time ago.
Of course, you want to be great at playing basketball, but there's so many life lessons within the game that enlighten you just on everything. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not open-minded to that part of it too, not just being a highly touted, great player, everybody love you, and you got the most points and you got the accolades, but do you actually truly care about coming in every day and being the best that you can be as an individual? And it may not be just shooting the ball, putting it in the basket. It may be your influence, what you say to your teammates, how you're encouraging your coaching staff, how coachable you are as an individual.
Well, Durant, it seems like you seem to be talking the opposite of the type of person that your boy is right there. How you approach your teammates, what you get your teammates traded. You don't listen to the coaches. Then you get them fired. So basically, I hope LeBron, I hope you stay quiet. You need to stay quiet on this one, boy, because you know you ain't no positive locker room influence at all. At all.
You know what I'm saying? All of that stuff I try to stay conscious of because I know the heavy influence that I have as being a veteran in the league, accomplished so much into the league, just walking into.
And also, Durant, you too. Y'all didn't listen. You didn't listen to coaching either. They kept switching coaches while you was in Phoenix. So obviously you don't listen to coaching, and obviously you don't elevate teammates. So what are you conscious of, sir? Phoenix has had 3 coaches your 3 years there. They had different coaches every year. Now you tell me what kind of influence that tell me about you in the locker room there. Bye-bye. Stop it.
Any gym, it can. Yeah, people attest just
for sure.
You got to make sure they're comfortable too. So I try to come into the gym and make sure I'm locked in on being a team player.
Mhm.
You know, true and true.
You guys are approaching it the right way because there's someone who's already gone over the other side, right? Like, there's a lot of reward in life. Like, there's a lot of things to enjoy, to challenge yourself with, but like, this is special. Like, it's hard to replicate this once it's done. Yeah, you have family or you have.
All right, I'm gonna end it right there because I'm getting nauseous. Because Steve Nash is just co-signing all this garbage. But the thing is, Steve, you can tell just looking at him, man. When you see this on video, that you can tell. Steve, he said, "Man, I ain't got nothing going on. I wanted to coach for real. I really wanted to coach." And then they stunk it up for him. And it just wasn't what he had going on. I feel like if if he had been an assistant first, he'd been fine. But I'm sure LeBron will hook him up with an assistant. You know, he'll have him straight. Because Nash, look, he's like, man, y'all do business. In another segment, he said, y'all done well in business and all that. Well, LeBron, of course, that's a cash cow. They're gonna have him make money. They can make billions off him. That's why they keep the drama going on when it's off season in the NBA. The NBA off season, we talking about this bum, the bum. So Kevin Durant, I thought it'd be a little different, man. I couldn't believe you said that about Jordan in baseball. That longevity is more important than winning. And I can see why you haven't won. Yeah, we see the stats. You got 30,000 points. We totally figured that was coming. With any decent health, you was going to get that in your sleep. Not a lot of people can say that. But that you have a little more, kahunas. But I can see now, it's not your cup of tea. But anyway, guys, to end this off, I'll be glad when LeBron retires. I'll be honest with you. I don't think he's a positive anything in the realm of sports, either on the field or off the field. I think a lot of the stuff off the field is just business. Even at school, sound good, it's all good, but nah, it's been a lot of stuff with him, a lot of lying and a lot of things like that. So nah, it's greatest of all time in the NBA. And as a basketball player, you didn't work at your craft at 100%. Never worked on your dribble either. Just never worked on his game. He just hit more threes, took more threes, hit more threes. Nowhere near 40%, nowhere near 90% in free throw percentage. Of course, you hit 50% because you outside of 3 feet, you're 35%, 68% inside. If you add them together, it's gonna be 50-something percent. So with that, man, I appreciate y'all hearing me out today. This is Raymond Carter III, your host. This is RC Speaks. Subscribe to me, man. I'm getting there. I'm building slow, but I'm coming. So subscribe to me, like the video, just show me some support, y'all. We'll catch you next time.